Hi everyone, it's Mavis Lamb, the Intuitive Story Wrangler, and I wanted to pop in here today to talk to you a little bit about creativity and AI, or as I sometimes say, AI. Now, I want to be really clear up front. I am not anti-AI. We use it every day. It's out there more than we even realize. I mean, you do a Google search, your first response is AI generated. So it's out there. I get that. But what I'm talking about is not being anti-AI but being pro personal creativity. If you are a writer, an artist, a musician, I want you to be creating, but I want you to be creating your own work. And here's what I mean when we use AI. AI does not create. It generates based on what you put in and algorithms. It does what I like to call it scrapes the internet to see what's out there and what might fit what you're looking for. And so it is not actually creating it. And here's the catch with that. Where is it getting that information? Where is it getting the things that it's grabbing? Well, most of the platforms are pretty quiet about where they're actually getting that information. What bank of data are they actually using? And so it can be very, very problematic for you. And here's something that I wanted to share with you. It was sometime around the middle of April of 2026 that Disney let go of about 1,000 employees. And towards the end of that month, actor Evangeline Lilly actually posted, I believe on Instagram, one of her social media channels, after she confirmed the layoffs with a friend of hers who was an artist there at Disney, that it did actually happen, an artist creator. And she said this, and I'm going to read this so I get it right. I can't quite believe that Disney have to let go of the artists who brought the current Marvel universe to life through their imagination and their genius. That the people who invented these characters, who designed them in the first place, are now being replaced by AI. AI that will take their designs and take what these artists created and use it to create iterations of that. And then she also went on to say directly to Disney, quote, shame on you for turning your back on the people who built the power that you are now using to throw them away. Now, in it was June 5th, just a few days ago, she actually clarified to Newsweek, I cannot confirm or deny that the motive for these layoffs was AI replacement. I was not in the room when the decision to lay off these artists was made. My comments were based on what I see happening in the industry at large and all over the world in every employment sector, as well as Disney's track record. And I'm connecting all that information to these recent, very worrying layoffs at Disney. So again, she clarified she wasn't in the room, but based on the information that she had, it looked as if these artists were let go and will be replaced in the future by AI. Now, here's what she also said that really, really brought it home for me. And this was a quote that she gave to the California lawmakers. Where are the laws that remove all human art from the AI bank? Why do they get to steal our brilliance and use it to make executives rich, while the artists responsible for feeding their robots go hungry? So you remember when I talked about how AI scrapes the internet to find things out and to gather information to give you whatever output it creates? Where does it come from? The AI bank. What does the AI bank use? Well, they're not going to talk about that. So I really think it's important that you are aware of that, that it is taking creativity from other people. And what if it was your art, your writing, your photographs that were being pulled to create something for someone else? How would you feel about that? Now, the other piece that's really important for you to understand when it comes to using AI, and again, I'm going to quote some of the latest information that I have, is that if you use AI to create your product, your book, your music, whatever it might be, you may have real problems when it comes to copywriting that. So, as of 2026, US law still requires human authorship for copyright, meaning purely AI generated content cannot be copyrighted. And this is a rule that was reaffirmed by the DC court in 2025 and left standing by the US Supreme Court in March of 2026. So let me break that down a little bit for you. But US copyright copyright law protects only works created by human beings. The U.S. Copyright Office and federal courts consistently reject copyright claims from works created autonomously by AI. So I want you to think about that um, it requires all eligible work to be authorized in the first instance by a human being. So what I mean by that is that you've got to create it first. It's okay if you use AI to edit or, enhance a photo or do some of those kind of things, but it has to start with you. It has to be directly started from you. You can't have AI generated and then edit it a whole bunch hoping. I mean, you might be able to edit it enough that it doesn't matter, but what's that percentage? How much do you need to edit that? That's the tricky part because they say that it has to be a considerable amount, but they don't determine what that is. So be very aware if you are using AI to help you create your projects, whether, as I said, photography, writing, music, anything like that. And so I want to say, kind of be aware. Less is probably more in these kind of situations. And if you have questions about a project you're working on or about to work on and the involvement of I would love to talk to you about that. Reach out to me and schedule one of the Intuitive Story Wranglers Trail Ride Talks. You can email me at mavis@mamboproductions.com. You can comment down below in whatever platform you happen to be seeing this on. You can write Trail Ride Talk or Me and AI, whatever you want to put. Or again, you can privately message me and we will have a private and confidential conversation about your specific project where you can get your questions answered. And I am going to be sharing more of this because I seem to be inundated with a lot of the changes that are happening and the ways that AI is kind of creeping into the creative world that we have to be aware of. But I just wanted to share that with you. That's it for today. I look forward to talking with you if you have a question about using AI to create whatever it is that you want to create, because I want you to saddle up and tell your story. All right. So that's it for now. Love you, mean it.